Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. This is the WiX Online Meeting 304. Halfway through February-ish, sort of, kind of. And this meeting is recorded for those of you that aren't with us right here, right now. And we are going to be talking about WiX 7, because that's kind of the thing we're doing right now. Then we'll review the WiX 7 issues, and we'll do triage for all the new issues that show up. And then we'll do questions and comments like we always do at the end, all that kind of good stuff. If you're here, go ahead and say hi. Bert and Jacob have already waved in, which is cool. Great to have you here. And those of you watching on later, go ahead and drop a comment if you have any questions. Let's get into it. Number one, what are we doing? We did WiX 7 RC1 on February 6th. That was supposed to be February 5th. But like all good releases, signing had to fail us. Just systems do not hold still, it seems, and always requires something to be fixed. Since we did the last release not even 6 months ago. What? I don't know. Whenever we did 602. Anyway,
Yeah.
Azure changed stuff. We had to fix stuff. We got it working. It probably would be better if we signed every single build or something so we test it more often, but I don't really want to do that. So yeah, I guess we just kind of deal with it. Anyway, so it came out the 6th. It was the same thing. It's all good. WiX 7 RC1 is out there. And yeah, RC2 is right around the corner on March 5th. And then, of course, the final release will be on the 6th in April, which is a Monday. And I think we'll just leave the dates like that. Hopefully everything just kind of rolls along for the March and April releases. So I see everybody else is kind of also, yeah, Zach has also experienced the whole signing as a problem. All right, let's go do WiX 7 review and then do triage. Normally I do triage first because they turn into WiX 7 things, but well, we're not going to turn into WiX 7 things because, well, if it's not WiX 7 now and been in, and it's not a break like in WiX in RC1, it's probably not happening. But we did have a few things come in. So, Bob, you ready to go do the triage thing?
I'm terribly confused about what you're saying, but sure.
We're going to do WiX 7 review first. So these are the things currently set up to go into WiX 7. And some of them were opened as we were doing the final, after the last WiX meeting, but before the release. Anyway, so I'm going to start at the top. I think that's the oldest issues and work our way down. No, I don't actually know. Yeah, that is the oldest issue. Okay, cool. My 3 issues that I have open right now are all doc related, and I am doing things to make doc happen, to make doc better, to work better, mostly around my issue here, 8932. This is about getting our a cleaner listing for when new attributes show up, when new content shows up. I'm doing a little bit there. Anyway, so I have that doc issue, that 8654 issue, and then 7821 is a doc issue to go write down all that kind of good stuff. It was also about making sure that everything was signed correctly, and well, we've talked enough about signing. It was a pain. We've got it. All right. So that's my 3 issues. I went through mine really quick because Bob has all the exciting stuff, honestly. I don't know, Bob, do you want to say anything about 7981? It's just a doc thing to do.
Haven't even looked at it.
Yeah. So 8063, the scope per user fails with package net effects
Haven't even
462.
looked at it.
Yeah, I was going to say, this one might not make it, right? Like, or it depends.
I have very low confidence.
Right. So
because of all the other items.
Exactly, because of all the things that we're actually going to talk about in detail. So yeah, 8063 has a very high chance of not ending up in WiX 7 right now. So, but let's talk about the other issues because they're a little bit more exciting. A few of these are closed already because they are done. Like 8232, Bob. Or 9232. 9232. Bundles need to store scope when installing and restoring for maintenance. I don't know if
Sorry, you want me to talk about it?
Yeah, we didn't triage it, so I think we should talk a little bit about it, just real quick. because it's
Okay.
this is
See,
in.
you changed the order of things, and this is just terribly confusing.
I'm sorry.
Um, because normally we talk about them
In triage.
in triage.
Yes.
9232 bundles need to store scope when installing and restored for maintenance. This is just if you know run a repair, for example, you should be able to switch from per user to per machine. It's probably not going to work. Um, so that's just once a configurable scope bundle has decided on a scope, it must stay that scope, which is also the same as 9236. 9232 is about maintenance mode. 9236 is about upgrades.
Upgrades. Okay. Yep. So we probably can pull triage off of those two guys then.
Well, no, you're just messing up my whole system now.
All right. And then 9240 is another one that was fixed to report the scope of the MSI packages during detect. That's a logging thing, right?
Yeah.
Right. Right. And these are fixed, but going to be in RC2. They're not in RC1 as we're talking about them. And then these that are left, 9233 handle configurable scope bundle packages. Is that what's that? That's automatically passed the executing bundle to child bundle packages. Oh, bundle packages, right?
Sorry, yeah, literal bundle package. If you
Yes.
have a bundle package, which was that introduced in 4? I
Oh
think so.
gosh, when was it? 4 or 5? They all 4,
Anyway,
5, 6. It all blurs.
it's a package type that is a bundle,
Mm-hmm.
and it was 4. The cool thing is that it handles all the detection stuff because that's all obviously something Burn knows about. You could have a bundle package that is itself configurable scope running in a bundle that is either fixed scope or also configurable. So we need to detect when a bundle package is configurable scope, and depending on the scope of the bundle, the parent bundle, the bundle that it's installing that bundle package, pass in command line switches to force the scope of the bundle package. The
Right.
command line stuff I dealt with in RC1, but actually having bundle package all wired up to do that is RC2. That's
All
not
right.
an issue.
Cool. All right. 9234 configurability in WiX standard BA. That's pretty clear. And 9235 is well, actually, what's the difference between implement configurability in WiX standard BA and then add a scope selection to WiX standard BA themes?
One is in the WiX standard BA code. One is in the WiX standard BA themes.
Oh, okay.
Um,
Fair enough.
I broke them out because I wasn't confident that I was going to be able to add scope selection to all of the themes that we get.
Right. Okay.
So, but obviously, the code comes first.
Right.
Then we
9234
can.
is important. And then 9235 is really nice to show people how to do it and maybe have that by default.
Yeah.
And then, but without 9234, 9235 doesn't matter.
Yeah. Nope.
Okay. That makes sense. And then 9237 and 9238 are documenting the changes that came about because of this.
Yeah. There's a bunch of little stuff. There's some conceptual stuff I'd like to include as well.
Right. And there's a breaking change in here, right?
Yes. Yeah. The scope, the configurable scope, comes through the BA because the BA is where you would, have your business logic, or you would have UI that lets users pick the scope. So it has to come in from the BA into the engine. That takes the shape of a new parameter to the plan method that is just the scope. The scope can be default, which means if you're not using configurable scope bundles, you don't have to just use default and everything's good. Otherwise, you can force it per user or you can force it per machine.
Right. All right. So as you could tell, the configurable scope bundles is exciting amounts of work right here at the end.
Yeah, there's a mix of discovered work and just stuff that I did not finish in RC1 or was afraid to try to squeeze into RC1.
Yep. 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 But it looks like everything's coming together. Bob's doing a great job of obviously knocking them down already, and this is going to be a really nice feature to finally have checked off. We have people talking about it in several places, so clearly something that people would like to see.
Yeah.
All right. So Bob says he's not going to remove the tags off of here, so I guess my plan is all for naught. No.
Excellent.
Are these in the right 9-2? I guess these are in the right order. Okay. Yeah. All right. All right. So going to triage. So those are the things that are in WiX 7. If it's not in there, it's not happening because clearly, we have plenty of stuff going on right at the end. WiX 7 is locked. This is where we're at. If we find a bug in stuff that's in WiX 7, that's what we're hoping people are picking up the RCs and, kicking tires and seeing how these are turning out. Especially RC2 for the final bits of the configurable bundle work. Here, we're going to talk about things and tossing them in the future releases. So we'll start at the top. 9223 WiX Convert doesn't handle out of proc BA authoring changes. True. Is there a bundle? There's WXF authoring changes as well, aren't there?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I wasn't yeah, to be clear, that's just about the authoring changes that you have to make.
Right.
Making your BAs out of proc is separate, and we've never really done anything in WiX Convert. We've never done anything with the code. So
Right. All right. Yes, that's true. That makes sense that would be the case. So I guess we can put it up for grabs and out there.
sure, works for me.
All right. Good thing. There's a lot of WiX Convert code. So if someone wants something, to jump into, that's not a terrible one. Lots of tests and things like that. All right. Patch creation allows duplicate disk IDs in the media table. Yeah, that's bad. Go ahead and give this to me in vFuture. I want to take a quick swing at that because that's probably a check I should have caught when I first did that patching stuff. So I'll take that one in the future.
Okay.
Should be fairly straightforward to fix as well. All right. 9228 was a late discovery. Microsoft added a feature they call redirection guard, which allows you to prevent your protected processes from navigating symlinks, which is one of the very sneaky attack vectors of getting elevated code to manipulate system locations by pointing something that you think is user into the system location and doing bad stuff. So Microsoft added an API, and Burn now will turn that API on if it's available on your operating system, which just makes Burn a little bit harder to hack through these mechanisms. We believe we've already protected against all of these angles, but this is just a defense in depth. It's like Microsoft provided the API. It's a good thing. We should just turn it on. If for some reason it breaks your Burn bundle because you needed symlinks to work in some case, which I really don't know that they would work. Anyway, there is a policy that you can use to disable them. So anyway, but hopefully nobody needs it. That's just an escape patch if something really strange out there that we didn't account for hit it. So there's that. Okay. 9229 is a feature that someone has written up. And Bob, you were called out in this one, although only in parentheses, not by handle. So this could be a Wix 8. We could assign it to this person and they could work on it in Wix 8. We don't have I guess we have to put it in vFuture for now, right? Because we don't
Well,
have a Wix 8
we,
yet.
we've talked about different ways of accomplishing this.
Yeah.
I know you've had some concerns about overexposing internals.
Yeah, I mean, this was the route suggested in the notes. I went back and looked. I was like, yeah, okay. It's an interesting way of reaching into the guts of the Wix toolset and bringing it out, and then you're carrying all of this stuff, the guts of Wix with your bundle. It's just a how much do we want to support this in this feature, and this way is a minimal amount of additional code in Wix, I think is probably the way to say it. Um, More work on their side to put into their BA. I mean, the only other option is to actually have Burn do this feature, I guess. Like actually change the Burn code to have another layout option, essentially, or extract option. Like layout, but pull the stuff out. I don't know. I don't like. For me, I'd rather just be like, yeah, just get Wix.exe. It can extract for you and move on. But people want to carry it inside their bundle, then this is probably what you'd have to do.
Well, Wix.exe has its own dependencies, so that's a harder sell.
Nah. Okay.
It requires a .NET SDK.
Sure. I guess this doesn't. This could use the .NET framework, right? True. This could use .NET framework. So anyway, it's not a whole lot of extra code for us to keep tested and working in this design. So it carries a bunch of stuff with their MSI package, which is strange, but um, that works. Like
Sorry, their MSI package?
or it's their bundle, not their MSI
Oh,
package. Sorry, their
okay.
bundle. All right, they're going to be carrying the whole burn backend with them. It's like, oh, okay, but it's managed code. It's probably not a lot, and yeah, and we can have Wix.exe use this, entry point maybe to extract bundles or something. Clean that up. So yeah, I don't know. The whole the whole feature is just kind of like, but fine. If you really want to ship it inside your BA, then yeah, do something like this. So yeah,
Well, that's a resounding endorsement.
no, it's not, because
I,
I'm
I,
not thrilled about this feature all the way around. So I just want to make sure that we don't have to do a whole lot to keep it, because we're going to end up owning the compiler side, the backend side of it, and so I just want to make sure that the backend side is not that complicated, and this shouldn't be that bad.
I, I guess I'm confused. I don't understand how this is just exposing existing code. No?
Yep, yep, that should be all it is. That's why it's light enough. Yeah.
Okay. So, what's your hesitation? Other than not liking the feature, which I understand.
Yeah, that's those things together, right? I mean, they're shipping the burn backend with their BA, which is just interesting, but it's fine. It's like, yep, that's the minimal touch for us, so they're gonna have to carry more stuff on their side. Yep, that's what it comes down to. My natural predisposition inside burn bundles is to carry as little as possible. So knowing that you're going into operating system and you don't know what's going to go there, that's just my predisposition. But if you know, they don't want to maintain the burn extraction code on their side completely, then this is what we could expose minimally so they can maintain less on their side. Right. They want access to the internal guts of the burn backend. So this helps expose that.
Okay. I would point out, as I have before, this is not strictly limited to BAs.
True. You're right. Other things could use it too.
Yeah.
That's true. Yeah, and like I said, WiX XE could use it. I don't remember how WiX.exe uses it
I don't either. I don't either.
today. So, but I mean, that's probably the one. Maybe that's the one piece of feedback. It's like, hey, yeah, look at how WiX.exe uses it. Maybe you should use this instead to clean up that extraction space.
Sure.
But that's it. Because there are people are like, I don't know, the WiX XC extraction. Some people complain like it doesn't lay out files exactly the same or something. Which I'm like, okay, those are bugs we can improve the layout. It's not a the core scenario is mostly I think around signing, so we don't really care what the file names are as long as we can get to them. I think is where a lot of that stuff comes from. So anyway, otherwise, yeah, that's that. It's not my favorite feature.
Okay.
So, but maybe it'll be helpful for more than just BAs, like you said. People will be like, "Yay, I built this thing that can work with bundles," or something. Okay. So I think it goes in vFuture to be put into Wix 8 when that is created. I don't have that milestone created yet. Probably,
Sure.
I don't know when to create it. Yeah. Anyway, we can go with vFuture because we'll sweep through it when
Yeah.
we have Wix
Yeah.
8.
Yeah.
That's easy. And we can give it to this person.
Sure.
And there we go. All right, that's 9929. Going back, 9929. 9230 was a small change that did I broadcast it? I don't remember. I meant to send a thing out to announcements. I might not have.
I think you did.
I did. All right,
Yeah.
good. My brain is very addled. So if you didn't see the announcement, the open source maintenance EULA got a small tweak available to it for labeled at 1.1 that essentially read how do I say this correctly? Raises the floor. Okay, it used to be if you made money, you pay the maintenance fee. It now is if you make $10,000 or more per year, then you pay the fee. The whole purpose was to avoid the problem, the concerns that some people had where they're like, I'm making like, $2 a month on my little side project and that's more than the maintenance fees I'd have to pay on all my open source projects. And it was like, oh yeah, never really meant to bankrupt you. So this was just a way of codifying the hey, yeah, if you're not making a lot of money, you don't pay the maintenance fee. But at the same time, not too high that like open source projects that make money still will pay their dependencies. It's kind of a balance between those things. So anyway, the minimum is now $10,000 per year. So that's what the 1.1 did, hopefully tackling that particular scenario through the EULA that some people are hitting. And that's what a lot of the changes in the open source maintenance fee have been. That's the only one that's affected EULA. There's been some tweaks to the documentation of trying to clean up language and things like that. But overall, same process, still working very well. Really happy with it thus far, and getting to a point where could actually recommend it to others. And some projects have already started picking up themselves, which is cool to see. So that's the OSMF EULA 1.1. 9230. 9232. Bundles need to store scope. Okay. Now we're, I think, all in the issues that Bob covered, and we're done with all of those. So we already covered all of these. Oh, there was one after.
No.
Oh, there's one thing two things to triage after, although one of them is gone probably. Anyway.
Yes.
9242. So I didn't quite get the details of this one. They want to have, I think they want to have localized Wixel or oh, it was a bind variable, right? That they wanted a bind variable. Yeah, they wanted bind variables to also change with their loc variables, I guess is what they wanted. Right. Right. But then they said they're going to build from source. So I'm inclined to say, hey, if you're going to go build from source, then just change your source. That's fine. I the there's a future change that I've still been noodling on. I just haven't figured out how to do it yet. Where I want to try to collapse all of the bind time variables into a single space, so there's not so many different concepts. I just haven't worked my way down through all of that. But I don't think this is the way. I, I, I would keep this as kind of like a a bullet point in that larger feature of, hey, let's make sure that this still works. Um, Being able to use um, whistle files and localized variables. So anyway, I don't think we should take this change.
Yeah, this is all based around the use of bind time variables in Wix UI, um, which is partially because of how Wix UI is built as a library. But there, I'm I haven't thought about it because I didn't understand the skimming this issue did not enlighten me, so I didn't spend much time on it.
Yeah, so I don't think this is the solution to this problem here. Um, and since they're going to go build it from source, we could just say, hey, yeah, you can go try this out in source and see how that works. Um, so I don't,
Well, they
let's,
said they've done that.
oh, they have done that. Okay, well, then that's great. So they want to contribute back. Yeah, this isn't the way that we want to go. So I think the answer, like, I don't know what to do with this issue. It's like, I get what they want, but not like this. Is essentially what it comes down to. I don't know. I don't want to really keep the I because it's so descriptive in its particular way of working. I don't really want to keep this open um, as a yeah. This should be implemented. Um, can we? I'm trying to figure out, can you assign it to me and put it closed in future? Yeah, let's do that. Let's close it as this is not the way we want to go, but assign it to me in future where I will open the issue that I want and make sure I remember that this particular issue to kind of incorporate in the larger solution of the bind variables and loc variables and bind paths and all those different bind time variable resolution type stuff. I think that's the way to do it. Did that make sense?
No, not really.
Okay. I think if it's assigned to me in future closed,
No, sorry, I get that part.
yeah.
I'm still struggling to understand. This seems to me this is a solution to this very, very narrow problem that should be solved a different way. Not just I know what you're talking about, but also just in terms of how the UI does it. Um,
Yeah, yeah. And yeah, and part of it is why I want to unify this is because they overlap but not fully. They
yeah,
don't interact. The variables in the end don't interact completely. Um Fully. I don't know how to say it. I'm not saying it well. I have an idea that there's a better way to do it, but I don't exactly know what it is. So I'm very vague because I haven't figured out how to solve it, but it feels like there's a better way than what we have right now. That's what I have, right? And I've had it for like a while now. I just haven't sat down and tried to fix it. So this feels like another facet in that direction. And to your point, it is a side effect of the way that like the Wix UI Wix libs are put together.
yeah.
and not just that. It was actually, it was not those that was where I was at. It was the bundles, but it was also the UI and the bundles. I think it's the same problem in both places where I was hitting it more. Anyway, it's just one of those things I look at. I'm like, this is not quite right, is what it feels like. And there's another way to solve this. Oh, and patching. There's an overlap with this in patching as well. That's where I also hit it. Anyway, there's a lot of facets to this that I want to get right. And so go ahead and assign this to close it, put it in future, and then I will remember when I review future to go, okay, don't forget this bullet point and all of the other bullet points to tackle.
Okay.
Yeah, cool. The last one was someone wanted to bring up the facts that the log files has a useless message in it that says the word error.
Yeah, I closed
And
that one. It's a direct duplicate.
it's a direct duplicate of that. So it's like, yeah, which I guess is a problem when things are closed. They don't show up in search as well. So I don't know what to do there.
They show up for me as long as you know. The problem is, yeah, by default you get a status open or whatever.
Right. Yeah. So anyway, well, just one more issue to point to the correct issue of why it is the way it is and things you can do if you want to do it differently. So yay. All right. That I believe is triage. Woohoo. All right. 1, 2, 3. Yep. All right. Cool. And that and that and that. Okay. So if we go back, questions, comments, other things people want to talk about. We are finishing week 7. I have some doc things. Did get a new doc page up that talks about the whole open source maintenance fee thing and all that. So that was actually a big thing done just before week 7. So if people have feedback on that page, by all means, go ahead and send that back around. I would take that. Lots of doc, lots of words there that I hope all make sense, basically is what it comes down to. March 18th, we will have RC2 out at that point. And we will be essentially looking at hopefully an empty WiX 7 issues list, although we may have doc things because we can always fix those when we do it. We just use the release points to kind of force us to get these things done or make sure that we get some of them done within that time frame. Like the breaking changes and such like that. So I'm filling space. Hopefully, if you had questions, you've typed them in already. I don't see anybody doing that. Yeah, it's pretty straightforward, the work we're doing. Lots of mop up and moving through and finishing up of WiX 7. Oh, Bob pointed out, which we did not announce widely. I've mentioned off cuff here and there. WiX 5 is out of service. So if you're on WiX 5, you should be moving to WiX 6 or looking at, honestly, WiX 7 and testing that out. Make sure that's working for you. But yeah, so off of WiX 5 because it's not getting any of the security fixes anymore because we don't support 3 releases at the same time anymore, which was too much 2 years ago. I was just reviewing my blog entry last year for my birthday time period when we were dealing with that, and it was not. I remembered how painful that was. Anyway, WiX 5 is out of service, so keep on moving. That's all I got. Anything else, Bob?
Nope, I'm good.
Yep. So RC2 is right around the corner, and then we're on our way to honestly, hopefully RTM is no big deal, and WiX 8, which I don't even know what that'll have, but that'll be something we will talk about in probably not next month, but the month after that for sure. So until then, you guys take it easy. We'll be back in a month. Exactly 18 days. February being 28 days does that, doesn't it? Anyway, see you guys later. Bye.
Bye.